This is Dave Chen from /film.com. We're here with Bradley Jackson at the Seattle International Film Festival 2014. Bradley, thanks for joining us at /film.com today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you're the writer of Intramural,
Yes.
a new sports comedy that's played at SIFF today. It premiered, I believe, at Tribeca, is that correct?
Yeah, Tribeca Film Festival this year, and Seattle is one of our follow-up festivals. Yeah.
Cool. So tell us briefly about Intramural.
Intramural is, the basic log line is it's about a bunch of fifth-year seniors that are going for one last shot at glory in intramural flag football. But it's a very broad comedy, kind of in the vein of Wet Hot American Summer or Dodgeball or Hot Rod. Those are kind of the three inspirations that we had. It's kind of a comedy, lover's wet dream of a cast, in my opinion, of up-and-coming people that they may not be the hugest comedy stars right now, but in 10 years I think they're going to be. So that's what we're going after. So
tell us how this project came to be.
I wrote it when I was at UT in Austin, and I'd always just loved sports movies growing up. I think one of the key sports comedies that kind of, there's two that really got me interested in sports comedies. One was Necessary Roughness with Scott Bakula and Sinbad. And then there was Major League, real sports movies too, like Remember the Titans, Rudy, movies like that. Really were just, I loved them growing up. Rocky, Hoosiers, and so I was trying to write a script, and I just was like, what type of movies do I love that have interesting structures to them? And sports movies were what came to mind, because there's always the same structure in every sports movie, and that kind of was my jumping off point. I was like, okay, I know what I want to write. I want to write kind of a self-aware sports comedy. And then at that same time, I was in college, and a lot of my friends were playing intramural sports and coming home and telling these epic tales of glory. And I just thought that's the lightning bolt moment right there. So yeah, wrote the script in college, and then rewrote it 100 times. And then out of college, met some producers, and we were just like, let's do this. And we found our director, and then it was off to the races.
What are the key ingredients of a quality sports film?
Oh, there's so many key ingredients to a quality sports movie. There's, you gotta have montages. There's gotta be at least 3 montages. There has to be a training montage. There has to be a team winning a lot montage. There has to be a bad guy team winning a lot montage. Because a sports season, if you're calculating over a movie over an entire season, that's a 4-month, 5-month period. So, you can't just show every game. It'd be a 12-hour movie. So montages are the most important. Epic speeches. There's got to be at least 2 or 3 epic speeches. There has to be there's got to be some sort of a coach with baggage. The coach with baggage is really important. Whether it's alcoholism or neglecting his children, or racism, or something like that. All of there's got to be something like that. There's got to be, there's got to be a bad guy that just isn't a real person. Like, you watch that character, and there's no way that's a real person. That's somebody that somebody wrote. Nobody acts like that. Nobody's Cobra Kai. Really, or not Cobra. What's the Karate Kid? Is it Cobra?
That's right.
It's Cobra Kai. Yeah, I was thinking Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
There's those people don't really. I mean, there's elements of truth in those people, but So I think there's a lot of great things that all sports movies have, and I love those things about sports movies. I'm not trying to make fun of them. I am trying to make fun of them, but in a loving way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's clear that you're familiar with them,
right,
but that you're also mocking them, but
right,
that you also love them.
Right. I love my best friends, but I also love to make fun of them. So that's how I relate it. So.
Yeah. Favorite sports movies of all time, and why?
Oh God, favorite sports movies. I think Rocky. All of them, even 5. Rocky, not Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa is Rocky 6. That's awesome. That's legitimately a good movie. Rocky 5 is the street fighting one with that one's not very good, but it's still awesome. But all the Rockies, you gotta love them. Rudy,
Well, why do you? So I'm saying, why?
Why do I love Rocky?
Yeah.
It's just a great underdog story. I think everybody wants to know, what it's like. Everybody feels like they're an underdog. Even if you're not an underdog, you feel like an underdog sometimes. You wake up in the morning and you're tired and like, I gotta do this thing today. And at the end of the day, you go to bed like, I did it. I couldn't believe I did it. And it's, it's not like Rocky Balboa, who's, a young whippersnapper who goes and gets a shot at the title, but I think everybody feels a little underdog every now and then. So I think that's kind of the core component as to why people love sports movies. So that's that's why I love it. And then Rocky's got the best training montages, hands down. I love Remember the Titans. I just love football movies. So I love sports bringing people together. So Remember the Titans, they defeat racism through sports. And Friday Night Lights, they defeat kind of almost classism in sports. You've got the rich kids who are on the football team, and you got the poor kids, and then they become friends because of football. That's kind of Friday Night Lights. Small town I'm from Texas, so I get the small town Texas football vibe. And then I love sports comedies like Dodgeball and Hot Rod, just because they're just so stinking funny. And Andy Samberg and Hot Rod falling down a cliff for 2 minutes straight after he's been kick dance fighting. To me, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So I love the ridiculousness, the playing with formula and genre and convention that you can do with sports comedy. And then Rudy, because it just makes me cry.
Have you seen all the Air Bud movies?
I've only seen Air Bud 1. But having seen Air Bud 1, I can safely say I've seen all of them. I actually saw Air Bud 1 in theaters with my mother, and it was beautiful. It was great times.
Your film makes a derogatory reference to Air Bud 4, I think.
There is a structure to all sports movies. Rocky, Hoosiers, Air Buds 1, 2, 3, and 5.
What about Air Bud 4?
A dog playing baseball. Are you insane?
It's just the fact that all the Air Bud movies are logical in a weird way, in that, like, sure, I guess a dog could nose about a basketball into the goal. Sure, I guess a dog could nose a ball over the fence or over a volleyball goal. Sure, I guess a dog could nose a ball into the... But a dog cannot catch a baseball with his paw. A dog cannot swing a bat. A dog cannot play baseball. Like, there's a fundamental flaw with a dog playing baseball. Because I guess, yes, a dog could catch a ball, but a dog cannot swing a bat. And you have to swing. You can't. It's just illogical. There's no way.
You're right.
Yeah. Right? Of course I'm right.
It's fundamentally different than all those other ones.
Right, exactly.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
So you felt the need to point that out in the film.
It's just, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of those Air Bud 4 supporters.
Yeah.
There's
millions of them.
There's more than that. And you're probably gonna get a gazillion hits on this interview. They're all gonna say mean things about me.
Yep.
But Air Bud 4, if you were a fan of Air Bud 4, quit living a lie. Just stop it. You're not fooling anybody.
One of the things that was interesting about the film is like how you try to strike this tone that a movie like Dodgeball strikes, which is, it's not quite the real world,
right?
But it's not quite a fantasy land that you can't conceive of either.
Right.
It's like a hyper real reality.
Right.
Did you have that in mind when you wrote the script, and how did you approach building a world like that?
It was definitely a thought going all the way through, because my favorite comedies are the ones where there's a little bit of groundedness to it. I mean, I love movies like Anchorman, where there is no groundedness. It's all insanity, and there's no way any of this could be really happening. But I also, like, some of my favorite comedies are movies like a Dodgeball, or like even a Ferris Bueller, where it is a world that's not 100% real, but there is some grounded reality to it. There's a straight man to it almost. And I thought, what I liked about Dodgeball was I thought, Vince Vaughn was a good straight man who could actually, or even also Old School, where you got Luke Wilson playing kind of the straight man, where there is a little bit of like a person who's essentially calling out some of the crazy. So in our movie, we've got Jake Lacey from The Office and Obvious Child, and he's really good at Kate McKinnon will do something insane to him, and then the audience will be laughing at Kate, and then you'll get another laugh from Jake, who like gives him that realistic look of just like, what is wrong with you? How are you this way? So it was definitely for me, it definitely was a conscious choice to write that into the script, to have just a little bit of groundedness to the story. And the hardest part was finding the actors to pull that off, and I thought Jake and Nikki Reed did a really good job with that. As far as information about the film, just go to our Facebook page, Intramural, the movie, INTRAMURAL. Some people spell it a little bit or mispronounce it. That's fine. If you're wanting to see anything else that I've done, you can just go to my Vimeo page. Just vimeo.com/Bradley Jackson. You can see some of my short films that I've written and directed. But yeah, just check out the Intramural Facebook page. We update pretty regularly. Hopefully you can keep up to date on when we're going to be releasing in theaters.
Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.